Test out how it feels to move in your feminine energy with this simple and soothing feminine yoga flow that will have you feeling more alive. I recommend one block for this practice. We'll begin seated today in a cross-legged position, meditation pose. I recommend sitting up on a cushion or a folded blanket if you have one. If not, sit bones on the mat is perfectly fine as well. Imagine a weight is attached to your tailbone, drawing you down into the earth, securing you here. At the same time as a flower is growing out the top of your head, it reaches up towards the light. Inhale, feel the polarity of this groundingness while also growing tall, creating space in your spine. As you exhale, soften your shoulders away from your ears as heart lifts. Take a few rounds of breath to let you really settle into this pulling up and down, even side to side as you inhale and your rib cage expands. You are secure here, held in the masculine, so you can begin to explore your feminine. Start to do so by moving into Sufi grinds. Inhale, rock forward on your sit bones. Allow your heart, your ribs to stretch forward. Then over towards the right hand side. As you exhale, curl your shoulders in, ribs send to the back. Then over towards the left, creating this big circular movement with your ribs, like you're stirring the pot that is your pelvis. You can make these circles as big or small as you'd like, just doing your best to be completely fluid. You can go as slow or as fast as you would like, maybe playing, trying out multiple speeds, seeing what feels best in your body today, releasing any focus on what it should look like, and tapping into the feeling. It often helps to close down your eyes or soften your gaze. You may even want to drop the Sufi grinds more into your hips by keeping your spine a bit longer and reaching your heart all the way around, shining it over your knees. There's no right or wrong, just allowing yourself to play, feel into the pleasure of it. Coming to switch directions if you haven't yet. Noticing if there's something a bit different that feels better on this side. If you prefer a faster or slower pace, bigger or smaller circles. And as you take a few more rounds of breath, gently begin to draw your Sufi grinds smaller and smaller. Keep allowing them to get smaller until the circles are so subtle, only you can feel them. No one from outside would be able to see the subtle movement that you have in your spine. Rest in stillness and notice if you feel a little bit more alive. Maybe a tingling sensation running up and down your spine, or even deep into the core of your being. Roll forward over your shins, moving any props off to the side as you come into a tabletop position. Spread your fingertips wide. Tuck your toes in for this variation of cat-cow. Your hands and your toes are your masculine, your support. As you inhale, drop your belly towards the mat. Heart and gaze look forward towards the front of the room. Exhale, round into your spine. Press toes and palms firmly into the ground as you send the back side of your heart up towards the sky. Inhale, coming into cow pose. This time allow your sit bones to dip towards your heels. Exhale, rounding into the back, coming forward. Maybe shoulders drift slightly past wrists. Flowing cat-cow. Inhale, hips drift back as you move into cow. Exhale, hips, shoulders drift forward as you float into cat. Keep playing with this, seeing how this feels for the spine. Traditional cat-cow is always a variation that you may choose to take. And then switching things up a little bit, this time as you inhale, come into a traditional cow, shoulders stacked over wrists. And as you exhale, round the spine, send your hips, your sit bones back towards your heels. Maybe you feel a deeper stretch into your back as you do this. Inhale, coming forward into cow. Exhale, coming back into cat. Sit bones can come as close to your heels as feels good, almost like a variation of child's pose. This is just an option, just a way to play, see how this movement feels in your body. Coming back into a neutral tabletop. Inhale, extend your right leg long behind you. Imagine someone was gently tugging back on your ankle, helping you to lengthen to the leg. Exhale, curl your knee in towards your chest step, or carry your foot between your hands into a low lunge. Inhale, reach your fingertips forward and up. Shoulders stack over hips. Exhale, settle into the lunge. Allow yourself to find a full sensation here that feels nourishing. Place a block over by your right hip, right hand on the block, usually on its highest setting. Reach your left fingertips all the way up and over, side bend. Imagine you're holding a paintbrush with your left hand. Like you're trying to paint the ceiling, start to create these semicircles or rainbow-like shapes with this imaginary paintbrush, allowing yourself, your torso to rock forward and back, seeing if you can find a little bit more spaciousness and length down and towards the left hip, left low back, all the way stretching up into the armpit. Again, no right or wrong here, just allowing yourself to play. And coming back to stillness, staying in this side bend. One final big inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, fingertips reach back up towards the sky. Exhale, bow forward over your front leg as your hips shift back. Lengthen right leg, half splits. Right toes pull towards your face. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. Think halfway lift. Exhale, allow yourself to melt over your leg. Optional to bring blocks underneath your palms. Inhale, rebend into your front leg. You can keep your left back knee on the ground. Maybe you use the block under your left hand as you inhale. Peel your chest open towards the right hand side of the room. Right fingertips reach high. Fully lean back into an imaginary wall. Right shoulder may come to stack over left or even fall a little bit farther back in space. It might feel nice to even bend into your elbow and create some circles with your arm. And you can keep your elbow bent here or lengthen the arm. Maybe you try the other direction. Moving into the feminine is always just an opportunity to play, to test things out, see what works. Maybe you come to reach your right hand back and gently kick your left foot into your hand, deepening the stretch into the left hip flexor. Or maybe you bring both hands to the mat, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee off the ground, and gently rock forward and back in this variation of a lunge. Release left knee to the ground if it was lifted. Step your right foot back. Maybe you rinse out with a cat-cow. Maybe you come back into a child's pose. Perhaps you press up and back to a downward facing dog. What feels best? We'll meet back in a tabletop position. Inhale your left leg long. Point your toes as far back in space as you can. Maybe heart, chest lifts a little bit. Exhale, curl your knee in towards your chest. Take a big step or carry your left foot between your hands. Lunge. Inhale, reach your fingertips forward and up. Heart shines towards the sky. Exhale, settle into the lunge. Left hand comes to fall into a block by your left hip. Right fingertips arch up and over, reaching towards the left-hand side of the room. Come to paint the ceiling on this side. Think of your torso as doing a gentle rock back and forth. Maybe you close down your eyes as you do this. And your legs, your secure base, the masculine is holding you so that your upper body can really explore into the feminine and what it's like to let go and allow your body to innately lead. Yes, inhale, come back to stillness. Continue to reach right fingertips up and over. Stay as you settle into the exhale. Inhale, both sets of fingertips reach towards the sky. Exhale, surrender forward over your left leg. Half splits, hips move back. Inhale, ripple your spine long. Exhale, option to keep your spine long or completely round over the leg. Inhale to come forward. This time right hand plants on block or the mat. As you inhale, chest opens to the left, left fingertips reach up. Maybe the back of your hand and arm falls slightly back in space. Maybe you come to bend your elbow or find circles right away, working into the shoulder. Kind of digging into all the nooks and crannies that don't get the love that we do in our day-to-day. Perhaps you change directions of the circles. Maybe you play with reaching forward and back. No set movement that you have to follow here. Perhaps you choose to reach back with your left hand and grab hold of your right foot, allowing the right hip to drift towards the mat. Using the touch of your hand to foot to help your left shoulder pull back in space. Or maybe both hands come to the mat, left or right knee lifts off the mat, and you rock back and forth, stretching into the back side of right leg, sending the heel forward and back. in a tabletop. Knees walk wide to the edges of your mat as your sit bones sink towards your heels. Find child's pose. It may feel nice to reach your fingertips towards the top of your mat. Or perhaps you come to draw your palms together in a prayer-like position. Maybe you bend into the elbows, send your hands still in this prayer-like position to rest on the back of your neck, gently walking your elbows forward to stretch further into your sides. Notice as you do this if you're really reaching forward or if you can allow your sit bones to anchor you towards the ground. Extend your arms long if they're not already. As you inhale, gently press into the mat. Lift your chest ever so slightly off the ground. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath your torso, coming to place backside of left arm on the mat. Maybe even left temple to a twisted child's pose. Inhale, reach your left fingertips forward. Exhale, twisting towards the left as you reach your right arm underneath your torso. Settle the weight into the back side of right arm. Releasing from the twist, press into your palms and your elbows as you come to walk yourself forward into Sphinx pose, letting your hips melt into the ground, doing your best to draw your elbows under your shoulders. But if there feels like there's too much tension in the low back, walk your elbows slightly forward. It might feel nice to dip your chin towards your chest. Take little half moons, rocking your head from side to side so your ear comes to stack over the same shoulder, one direction and then the other. Coming to stillness and then slowly making your way onto the back side of your body into Shavasana. It might feel nice to tuck your shoulder blades underneath your upper body to support you and your heart opening to the sky. Notice if you crave having your palms shine upwards. If you would like to draw one hand to your heart, one to your belly. In this final act of surrender, let yourself be totally at ease, trusting that whatever variation of Shavasana or any other pose that may feel nourishing is exactly what you need in this moment. Take a deep inhale in through your nose and exhale, sigh it out. Start to draw your knees towards your chest. Maybe you gently rock from side to side. Roll over to your right hand side into a fetal position. And then push yourself up into a comfortable seat. We'll meet with our hands in prayer at our heart centers. Bow your head so your third eye meets your fingertips. And thank yourself for showing up on the mat today, for doing this act of self-love for your mind, body, and your soul. Lift your head back up. May you feel kind words. May you speak kind words. May you think kind words. Together, we bow forward and say thank you. Yoga feels great, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it's enough. Insecurities, self-doubt, frustration, and anxiety still happen daily, and you wonder how yoga is supposed to help you get through these roadblocks when you're not on your mat. The secret? Your confidence. Uncover your courage and confidence by joining me for private, tailored yoga and coaching sessions that are practical so you can feel your life transform from the inside out.